is going on, YouTube? Espresso Shuckle here, and today we are bringing Koraidon to the Reg G ranked ladder. Koraidon is an absolute powerhouse with its stab, fighting, collision course, and Terra Fire boosted Flare Blitz, especially its Sun boosted Terra Fire Flare Blitz, because Koraidon naturally sets the sun with its ability or a Calcum Pulse. So what more can you really want? Well, having a clear amulet to protect your stats is definitely a really nice thing on Koraidon. And on top of that, we also have Flame Charge here to boost up Koraidon's speed while also benefiting from Terra Fire and the sun as well. So Koraidon will be able to do some massive damage with the Flame Charge, boost up its speed, and then it can just go for massive flare blitzes or collision courses. And honestly, I think this is going to be a really fun time, not going to lie. So as far as the rest of the team here goes, we have Cornerstone Ogerpon with a little bit of redirection support in Follow Me. We have a rock type Stab, Ivy, Cudgel. We have Horn Leech to get back a little bit of HP, and we have Spiky Shield to protect Ogerpon. While in the Cornerstone form, Ogerpon's ability is Sturdy, so that makes it a really reliable redirection mon, since it's guaranteed to take at least one hit from full HP. So if we hypothetically run into a Calyrex Ice Rider or another Koraidon, Ogerpon can tank that hit, which is going to be relatively nice. But let's get into the real support for the team here, and that is the Iron Valiant here. So we have Booster Energy Iron Valiant to boost up our speed, and this Iron Valiant here has access to Wide Guard to protect the team from spread moves. It has Coaching to boost up not only Koraidon but Ogerpon as well, both of which are going to appreciate having a +1 to their attack and defense stats. And we also have a little bit of speed control in Icy Wind and Moonblast to do some damage. Now, the one thing about Iron Valiant is it is Fake Out bait, so we do have Terra Ghost here, but Iron Valiant and Koraidon is a little bit of an awkward combination too, because both of them want to Terrestrialize to get around certain things. Like Iron Valiant wants to get around the Fake Out and it can't protect, whereas Koraidon doesn't want to be on the field with Fairy-type Pokemon, so it's kind of a good idea to make Koraidon resistant to Fairy-type attacks and just kind of play around it with Iron Valiant and just risk the coaching. If we take a Fake Out, we take a Fake Out. It is what it is. The nice thing here, though, is if we go Iron Valiant Ogerpon, we can always go Terra Ghost on the Iron Valiant and boost up Ogerpon instead. And on top of that, as far as the rest of the team goes, we have Ursaluna, which also loves getting that coaching support right there, too. Ursaluna can definitely benefit from having a coaching boost to its attack and defense stats, since it's physically bulky and it just packs a punch, especially once it's burned with its Flame Orb, considering this is a Guts Ursaluna. We have Headlong Rush and Earthquake to do some massive damage, and then we have Facade to take advantage of the fact that it doubles in power when we're burned, so we do have that. Now, naturally, Ursaluna is a very, very slow Pokemon, so we do have Indeedee here with Follow Me support and Trick Room. So what we can definitely do is we can get the Trick Room up. We could even lead Indeedee and Ogerpon if need be, go for Follow Me on Ogerpon, and then click Trick Room on Indeedee instead, and go from there. Or we can just Follow Me away attacks from Ogerpon, and Ogerpon can go for some damage too. So there is that fun little dynamic. And plus we do have Rocky Helmet on here to deal with Urshifu Rapid Strikes, which is fun. So yeah, we do have that there. And also, Iron Valiant also learns Trick Room, so my opponent might think the Iron Valiant is going to try to go for Trick Room too, which could be funny. I mean, we're Speed Booster Energy, so probably not, but I mean, that's fun. And then we also have Charizard here, because it's not really is it really a Sun team without a Charizard? So we have Solar Power, Choice Scarf, Charizard here with Terra Ghost to protect it from Fake Out, and plus, if we go Terra Ghost, we no longer become a flying type, which means we have Psychic Terrain to protect us from Sucker Punch and Fake Out, which is really nice. So, well, it doesn't protect us. It doesn't particularly protect Charizard from the Fake Out because it's a ghost type, but you guys get the idea. Anyways, let's jump right on in to the battles. Alright, we have Koraidon versus Miraidon here. So we've got Whimsicott, Urshifu, Incineroar, King Gambit, and Iron Leaves. Alright. Coincidentally, when I was building this team, I always put Iron Leaves on the team myself. So, yeah. Okay. Iron Valiant might not be bad. Iron Valiant might be really nice for having a little bit of speed control right here. So, yeah, that could be okay. Charizard might not be too bad as well. Honestly, Charizard with the Choice Scarf and Heat Wave could be nice. I think what I might do is I might lead Koraidon right out of the gate with Charizard, just to get the sun, and then bring in Indeedee for Koraidon. I don't necessarily think we bring Ogre Pawn, whereas I'm a little bit weary of that King Gambit, but I think the Iron Valiant might be alright. Or the other thing, too, is... Oh. Could we not? Oh, there we go. She's gonna flop. I think we could bring we could potentially bring Iron Valiant and Koraidon as the lead. Yeah, like, that might be okay. Yeah, and then this way, too, we can just immediately go for the coaching, potentially. Go for a Flame Charge with Koraidon. And the nice thing, too, is Moonblast off of Iron Valiant can threaten Miraidon. So, like, if they don't lead Miraidon, great. So, yeah, we could definitely see how this works out. And plus, if they do lead Miraidon, I mean, I can always go for Indeedee and bring in the Psychic Terrain, too. So it's going to be Iron Leaves and Whimsicott right out of the gate. So, you know what? That's fine. I don't mind going for a potential coaching into Koraidon here. Go for a Flame Charge into the Iron Leaves. Get some big damage off into it. And plus, I do get to get my Quark Drive activated thanks to the booster energy. So Iron Valiant should be able to outspeed. Oh, interesting enough. Okay. Iron Leaves is getting a Quark Drive boost, and they're getting an attack boost. All right, so the nice thing here is I can Flame Charge, maybe Terra Fire in case they go for a Psyblade. Yeah, maybe going for the Terra might be the better idea right here, and then this way, too, I can become resistant to a potential Psyblade. I don't like burning my Terra this early, but, I mean, getting Koraidon set up as soon as possible is going to be really nice, so we'll go for the coaching. We'll get the +1 attack and defense boost, unless the Whimsicott taunts me, which, I mean, that is possible. Nope, they're just going to Tailwind, so you know what? That was part of the reason why I was a little bit weary of not terastallizing, so... Cats are in the middle of a battle behind the computer, too, so fun times. Anyways, we took about 90 damage off of that Psyblade, which, you know, I don't really love, but being able to boost up Koraidon is going to be nice, especially since we just do that. That's awesome. Okay, so what I could potentially do is I could protect Koraidon and risk the potential Encore and Icy Wind with... Urshifu is going to come out. Okay. I can't really protect Koraidon, but you know what? That's fine. I mean, I now have the Sun. I have a speed boost. I think what I could do here is I can go for the Icy Wind. And plus, the other thing, too, is the Sun is going to weaken Surging Strikes a little bit, so that's not too bad. So we're going to see Terastallization right out of my opponent here. I always wanted to say right out of the gate, but no, that was more a me thing. So, Terra Flying, okay. Collision Course is not going to be doing the most damage, but I mean, the Icy Wind looks really nice here too, so alright. We're just going to lose Iron Valiant to a Moonblast, which is unfortunate, but I mean, we got our +1 attack, so I should still be able to do some decent damage. And with the Sun, is Koraidon going to be able to take this? I think it's going to be okay. It's going to be close, but I mean, it should be alright. Honestly, having Ogre Pawn with Follow Me could have been really nice here now. Yeah, alright. So, we'll get our Collision Course off. We'll see how much damage this does to Urshifu. Which, honestly, despite that being resisted, I'm fairly happy about that. And also, I'm kind of surprised to see a Berry, but you know what? We'll go with that. Alright, so... Charizard can come in here with the Scarf. I do have... Ooh, you know what? I do have the Redirection with Indeedee, so... Yeah, I kind of like the idea of the Psychic Terrain, and I really like the idea of trying to get some more damage off into Urshifu. Also, I gotta double check something right quick. Yeah, I am Rocky Helmet. I thought I saw that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're gonna Flame Charge into Whimsicott, and we're gonna Follow Me with Indeedee. Their Tailwind should be just about done, and honestly, I love the idea of doing a lot of damage to this Urshifu if they Surging Strikes into my Rocky Helmet. Now, do I think they're going to? Maybe not, but if they do, that'll be amazing. And getting an extra speed boost in the Koraidon will be great, since that will allow Koraidon to be able to outspeed, hopefully. Now, we did see it was a Berry, so we know there's no Scarf on the Urshifu, so at +2 speed, I should be okay. Boom Blast is going to come into Indeedee. We're going to take a special attack drop. Not that that overly matters. And, ooh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're going to take a lot of chip damage out of this. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Flare Blitz might have been the way to go, and then that way, too. Like, or not Flare Blitz. Flame Charge into the Urshifu might have been the way to go. Just to get some damage off into that. But, I mean, I like the idea of being able to get some big damage off into Whimsicott here. If they're sashed, I mean, they're not. That's fine. All right, so you know what? I can go for the Urshifu if I want. If Miraidon comes in, like, I can do some big damage to Miraidon. I'm at +1 attack, too, so even if it's a neutral hit, like, oh, they didn't even bring Miraidon. They brought Incineroar. Spicy. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. They're going to bring me down to neutral on my attack, but I mean, that's fine. I have Psychic Terrain up. They can't fake out. And I'm now faster, so this Incineroar is just not going to appreciate the oncoming collision course. And I mean, the Rocky Helmet chip damage is going to be massive into this Urshifu, so we'll just nail the Incineroar right there. I'm really surprised the Miraidon didn't come in, but I mean, I'll definitely take that. Okay, Drain Punch. Drain Punch off of the Urshifu. That's going to give them back a little bit of HP, but I mean, the Rocky Helmet's just going to kind of put them back to where they were. So, that's alright. So, their Tailwind is gone. I'm now guaranteed to be faster, and I have the Charizard. So, I think I'm just going to click Weather Ball and let the Choice Scarf take it away. And I think we're just going to use the... We're going to do it. We'll go for the Flare Blitz. And we'll go for the Weather Ball. So, yeah. They're going to detect. That's fine. I mean, if the sun wears off this turn, I'm pretty sure Weather Ball is still more than enough damage to do it. So, they might... If they reveal Aqua Jet right here, like, yeah, that might be okay. Because Weather Ball should be more than enough to knock it out. So, yeah. The sun's going to fade. I'm going to not lose my... I'm not going to take the chip damage from Solar Power there. So, yeah, we'll just Weather Ball. And Koraidon's also got the Flare Blitz. And plus, it's also a +2 speed. So, I mean, Koraidon's going to outspeed. So, yeah, we're just going to pick up the KO right there with the Flare Blitz and just clean that right up. I really like that I was able to hit them with the Rocky Helmet recoil on the Surging Strikes with Indeedee. Like, I'm assuming they probably had that in mind to just remove Koraidon, which... That's kind of why I put the Rocky Helmet on the Indeedee to begin with. Not going to lie. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that played out. Good game to my opponent. Alright, we have Zacian here with Landorus Incarnate, Iron Valiant, Rillaboom, Urshifu, and Chi-Yu. Alright, so... I don't have any Intimidate, but Charizard could be fun here. Charizard could be fun with that Scarf. Not going to lie, Charizard could be really, really fun. I mean, getting Trick Room up might be okay, too. And then that way, too, like, I can inverse the speed. Because the majority of my opponent's Pokemon actually look pretty fast. So I could do something like that. Yeah, I could do something like that. Fake Out could be a little bit annoying with the Rillaboom, but I mean... Looking at my opponent's team, I kind of want to still bring Koraidon, and if I do, I don't really want to bring the Trick Room mode. So, I think maybe what I can do is I can bring Koraidon and get Ogerpon in here maybe, potentially. Indeedee might not be bad. Indeedee might be okay with the redirection, and I can always go for a Flame Charge. So, there is that. Ogerpon might be okay here. Ogerpon might be fine. But at the same time, I kind of want to bring Charizard. You know what? I'm going to bring Charizard. Charizard might be okay if I have Chi-Yu giving me Beads of Ruin to boost up my special attack output on Chi-Yu's partner. That might be okay, actually. So, yeah. Alright. Now, the one thing, though, I gotta keep in mind is Koraidon is going to be boosting up Chi-Yu's output with the sun. So, yeah. Okay, let's see right here. It is Zacian and Iron Valiant, which honestly, I have a feeling my opponent is planning to do a similar enough idea to me that I am planning to do to them. Yeah. So I definitely want to get Koraidon sped up. Follow Me with Indeedee could be okay on the off chance Zacian doesn't go for Protect. There is the confirmation that we do have the booster energy right there. So I think what I can do here is I can Flame Charge with Koraidon. I could potentially just go Terra Fire, but I mean, if Zacian protects, I kind of don't want to. Yeah, I mean, the Trick Room is really tempting, not gonna lie. But yeah, there's the coaching off the Iron Valiant, which honestly I feel good about going for the Flame Charge into this Iron Valiant right here. We also didn't... Oh, we got Substitute coming out, though. Yeah, okay. I do get to keep Indeedee, which is nice. So if I can knock out... oh, yeah, okay. Should have won for Flare Blitz there. Okay. Because now what they can do is they could go for another coaching, which... Koraidon should be fast enough to outspeed, which is nice. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Flare Blitz into the Iron Valiant, and I think... Yeah, I think I'm just going to Follow Me with Indeedee. And then that way, too, if I get my Scarf Charizard out here, I can go for Heat Wave and Flare Blitz together to do some big damage. If Zacian Terastallizes, I mean, like, it's okay. So long as it's not a fire-resistant typing, I should be alright. They're going to Protect and Substitute. Okay, alright. So that tells me they have 2 damaging moves, potentially. Unless they have a 3rd status move. But, I mean, I don't dislike Indeedee going for the Follow Me right here. I mean, it's passive, but it's fine. That's enough to take out the Iron Valiant. So, I have a speed boost. I can potentially go for that Substitute right now. Depending on what comes in here, like, I mean, I might even potentially just be able to leave the Zacian alone. Which is okay. Yeah, I could potentially just leave Zacian alone. Like, I feel like it's maybe Behemoth Blade, Play Rough, or Play Rough, Sacred Sword. Chi-Yu. Alright. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try to be clever because I feel like they're probably going to go Terra Ghost on the Chi-Yu. So I'm actually just going to Flare Blitz. And I kind of want to... I really want to go for that Trick Room, to be completely honest. But I mean, I kind of don't. Indeedee is just my insurance to keep Koraidon safe here. If my opponent does go Terra Ghost, I don't feel too bad about making this play, and then this way I can outspeed the Chi-Yu with the boost from my speed off of that Flame Charge. Flare Blitz will do a lot of damage. We are going to get Terastallization. Is it the Zacian or is it the Chi-Yu? That's the big question here. It is indeed the Chi-Yu. Alright, so Terra Ghost, which, you know what, kind of figured that was what was coming out here. Now, if this is Sash, it'll survive. If it's not Sash, we just sent the goldfish down the toilet. So, hopefully it's not Sashed. So, we'll go for the Flare Blitz right here. If Zacian is going to survive an extra turn, I mean, it is what it is. We're just going to straight up knock out Chi-Yu. So, that's great. If Zacian goes for damage into Indeedee, great. If it knocks me out, all the best. I can go for Charizard. Just apply some pressure with the Heat Wave and just go from there. So it's going to be Behemoth Blade coming out of Zacian here. And if I remember right, I think Behemoth Blade counts as contact, so I should get a little bit of Rocky Helmet chip too. Yeah. Okay, so the Rocky Helmet does do a little bit of chip there. Charizard can come in here. My opponent burned their Terra, so what I could do is I could go Heat Wave with Charizard and just Flame Charge to try to do some damage. They did reveal Protect on the Zacian, so honestly, I might just have to go for Zacian's partner here, whatever comes in. So let's see what it is going to be. It is Landorus. Okay, and you know what? I kind of want to get that Landorus off the field before anything else, because, I mean, Landorus could be a little bit scary here for Koraidon now that I'm a fire type. How many turns of Sun do we have left? That's the other question. 2. Okay, so I honestly feel like Zacian protects here. Landorus might go for damage into Koraidon. So I'm going to go for... I think I'm just going to go for Heat Wave and Protect. I think that's the safe option here, and then this way this covers for on the off chance Zacian protects, and I just can't break that substitute. Landorus is going to protect, that's fine. If I can hit the Zacian with the Charizard, great. Yeah. Because this will definitely be more than enough to break it. And because Landorus went for Protect, like, I have no problem with Charizard just going for another Heat Wave and trying to do some damage into Zacian. They went Behemoth Blade into the Koraidon, which makes me think... Well, one, they probably just didn't think they could take out Charizard, I guess, but... It's a Charizard. It should be okay here. I think I just Flare Blitz, and I think I just Heat Wave. And honestly, Scarf Heat Wave should be more than enough. Yeah. My opponent's actually going to cancel the match there, so you know what? That works out relatively nice. It was really good that we caught the Chi-Yu on the Terra with the Flame Charge. Like, I mean... Collision Course is blatantly obvious, so that's why I wanted to go for the Flare Blitz, just to make sure that I got the knockout. And I mean, worst case scenario, Chi-Yu doesn't really have the greatest physical defense, so like that still would have been a tremendous amount of damage at the end of the day. And if it was sashed and they didn't Terrasilize, I would have at least guaranteed the sash was broken, and plus Indeedee just kept Koraidon safe, which was really nice. So... nice to see that my opponent was also doing the coaching tech right there with the their own Iron Valiant, which honestly I feel like Zacian is definitely a great recipient for coaching. So I think my opponent definitely had a really good idea with Iron Valiant Zacian right there, considering that Zacian just has such a phenomenal defensive typing in Steel Fairy. And I mean, when Reg G went off last time, I brought Zacian and Riolu to the ladder together for the same idea. So yeah, definitely a really cool team that my opponent had for sure. Be sure to show them some support down in the comments below. All right, we've got Calyrex Shadow Rider here with Ogerpon, Heartflame, Rillaboom, Clefairy, Tornadus, and Urshifu. Okay. Iron Valiant looks wonderful here, not gonna lie. Iron Valiant looks really, really nice. And honestly, even Ogerpon looks nice. I kind of want to go for coaching into Ogerpon. They don't have Psychic Terrain too, which is really nice. Alright, so what I could maybe do is I could maybe just bring Indeedee in Ogerpon, get Trick Room up, and then play to Ursaluna. But I mean, I don't know if I like that. Ursaluna, depending on what form of Urshifu that is, that might be okay. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to lead Ursaluna. I think I'm going to bring in Indeedee so that I have the Follow Me, potentially. Iron Valiant might be nice, and I think Koraidon might be okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, Scarf Zard might have been okay, too, with Sun-boosted Heat Waves for spread and Terra Ghost, but... yeah, Calyrex is a hard option for Koraidon here to deal with, but the nice thing is if Koraidon can catch it off of or catch a Flame Charge before Calyrex hits the field, that's going to be nice, which, I mean, yeah, that's not great. But... I can get Trick Room up. And Ursaluna might actually have an okay time. Yeah, I kinda like that since there's no Urshifu here. And honestly, they can't Astro Barrage me, which is great, so... yeah, we're gonna get Trick Room up. Which is not great for Koraidon in the back, but I mean, so long as Ursaluna's on the field, I mean, Ursaluna's gonna have an okay time. Honestly, I love the idea of a Guts-boosted Headlong Rush into that Calyrex. And if Urshifu comes in, even better. Like, I love the idea of a Guts boosted Earthquake too, like doing some massive damage. So, like, we could potentially do that. Torn is going to just hard switch. All right, so no Tailwind. Clefairy's coming out. You know what? I don't love redirection off Clefairy, but what I do like is I like redirection off of Indeedee. I can always follow me right next to Ursaluna. They can't Astral Barrage, so they do have the Psyshock. Indeedee is a Psychic type. So, I mean, I think what I can do is... I do have Protect on Indeedee, so I could always Earthquake. But, I mean, Calyrex should be able to live at that range, so... Do I think they have Expanding Force with no Psychic Terrain Setter on their team? That's the big one. I'm going to Headlong Rush into the Calyrex just in case they go for Follow Me. And I'm going to Follow Me with Indeedee just to keep Blood Moon safe. So they went Protect instead. So you know what? That's fine. I'm going to get some damage off into the Calyrex, which is huge. Or not, because they're going to do that. Okay, so the silver lining is I don't lose a defense drop off of Headlong Rush. I can now switch to Facade and hit the Clefairy. Or I can go for the Earthquake. So there is that. I could potentially do that. Or I just Headlong Rush like I want to. They could always switch in Tornadus. Yeah, they could always switch in Tornadus. I'm going to Facade. And I'm going to Follow Me. Okay, we're going to get Terrestrialization coming out here. So, what are we getting? It's going to be the Calyrex right here. So, you know what? Facade actually would have been safe into that slot. And I had half a mind of doing it. I just didn't want to in case they didn't Terrestrialize. They're going to Follow Me. Fairy Terra is alright to see here. So, if they're going for a Draining Kiss, that might be okay. Let's see here. We're going to land the Facade. That's just a straight up knocked out Clefairy. No more Friend Guard for Calyrex. I do like that. Alright, and it is Draining Kiss. Okay, so +2 Draining Kiss. This is probably going to hurt Indeedee, but I mean... Silver lining. I have Trick Room. And they are going to take a little bit of chip damage. So, what I can do... I can Earthquake with Ursaluna. I can also Headlong Rush. And we go from there. Like, Tornadus is coming back out, so you know what? That's fine. I don't see why I don't just Facade. Yeah, I don't see why I just don't do that. I have 2 turns of Trick Room left. I'm going to go for Facade into Calyrex. I'm going to just Protect Indeedee. If I can get Calyrex off the field, that'd be amazing. I don't think I'm going to, though. Oh, okay. We're going to hit Calyrex. All right. That's wonderful. That is just my opponent's restricted gone thanks to Ursaluna. Ursaluna might be taking a little bit of chip damage here with Bleak Windstorm, but I mean, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, Guts boosted Blood Moon is okay. And honestly, it doesn't really matter with the speed drop because I still have 1 more turn of Trick Room. So yeah. Who's the last Pokemon coming out here? It's Urshifu. It's Urshifu Rapid Strike, which, you know what? Urshifu is something I definitely want to hit, potentially. And I'm going to go for Alluring Voice and just see if we can get a little bit of chip damage off into them. Also, somebody keeps walking across my computer. Okay. Technical issue aside, we get to land the Facade into the Ursaluna. Alright, so that's okay. And we get a little bit of chip damage with the Alluring Voice. Yeah, you can tell which of my 2 cats is more used to being on camera and which one isn't. Yeah, alright, so Honestly, I'm shocked she's just hanging around as much as she is while we're filming this here. But you know what? That's okay. 5 turns of Trick Room are done. 3 of my opponent's Pokemon have fainted, and I now have Koraidon coming in. I think this is an okay time to Terastallize Koraidon and just go for damage into that Tornadus. Yeah, I think this is okay. So let's see right here. We're just going to click Facade into you. We're going to Terastallize, go Terra Fire, and we're just going to Flare Blitz into the Torn. And the battle's canceled. So, you know what? I'm very okay with how that worked out. We didn't end up bringing Ogerpon to this match, but bringing in Didi and getting Trick Room up was massive, especially for Ursaluna. And I just really lucked out that I didn't get Urshifu in the lead here, which, if they had led Urshifu Calyrex, that could have been really bad for Ursaluna. But thankfully, we were able to just take it out, which, honestly, I'm pretty happy about. So, anyways, good game to my opponent. Hey, thank you guys so much for checking out this Koraidon and Iron Valiant team in action. We got to do a little bit of everything with everybody except for Ogerpon, but that's okay. Ogerpon is an amazing Pokemon in its own right, and I feel like while we're a little bit short on getting to use it today, Ogerpon will definitely have its time to shine in future content. But anyways, Koraidon. Koraidon had a wonderful time here. We ended up getting our Flame Charge off with Koraidon in 2 out of 3 of our matches. And honestly, Koraidon put in a lot of pressure in 2 out of 3 of those games, with Ursaluna actually putting on so much more pressure that Koraidon just kind of came in at the end just to show up and look pretty, which honestly, I'm A-okay with that in a restricted format like Reg G for that matter. So we ended up playing up against a Miraidon team, a Zacian team, as well as a Calyrex Shadow Rider team. And honestly, with 2 normal type Pokemon on the team, yeah, we had a really good time against that Calyrex. I was a little bit more worried about Koraidon going into that particular battle, but with my opponent leading Tornadus and Calyrex into Ursaluna and Indeedee, getting Trick Room up was just a wonderful time, especially since Ursaluna was able to start going for Guts boosted Facades right there and doing some massive damage. And yeah, we ended up knocking out Clefairy, Calyrex, as well as Urshifu, all with Ursaluna, with Koraidon coming in to just threaten the Flare Blitz into the sole remaining Pokemon, which was Tornadus. And then with the Zacian and Miraidon teams, we got to bring in Koraidon and Iron Valiant, and we got Koraidon set up in a lead against Iron Leaves and Whimsicott. And honestly, I'd love to see Iron Leaves. Iron Leaves, I feel like, does not get used a whole lot, and it feels like a bit of a sleeper pick. But anyways, it was nice to see Iron Leaves try to challenge my Koraidon to a fight, and my Koraidon just immediately eviscerated it with a Sun boosted, Terra Fire boosted Flame Charge, which honestly, despite Flame Charge not being the strongest hitting move out there, the fact that it just gets boosted off of Koraidon's attack stat, which is already boosted off of Orichalcum Pulse and the Sun and Terra Fire, like Flame Charge is going to do a lot of damage at the end of the day. And if you want to see a comparison, we'll look at match 1 versus match 2, where we hit the Iron Leaves with the Flame Charge versus the Iron Valiant with it without the Terra boost. So yeah, just look at that comparison. But anyways, we got Koraidon set up here with a coaching boost, and going for Terra Fire on turn 1 was actually the best call I could have made there, because the Iron Leaves just went for a Psyblade, which would have otherwise probably knocked out by Koraidon, which yeah, we weren't falling for that today. So we got Koraidon set up there, and then we were just able to do some massive damage. And my opponent, I don't know if it was just they were second-guessing Miraidon or whatnot, but they actually brought Urshifu and Incineroar instead of Miraidon, so I feel like that could have been a very different game, not gonna lie, if they had brought the Miraidon. Like, Miraidon is a really strong Pokemon, especially into Koraidon, so like, I feel like that could have gone either way if they had brought that instead of the Urshifu and the Incineroar. But fortunately, we were able to redirect away a Surging Strikes with Indeedee and have that Rocky Helmet chip just whittle it down a little bit, and Koraidon was able to just start doing some massive damage with the Flame Charges and getting faster. We ended up outspeeding my opponent's Tailwind at one point, which was great, and then we also ended up playing up against another opponent that tried to to go for the coaching tech with an Iron Valiant of their own. And of course, that was the Zacian team there. So my opponent had Zacian with Substitute and Protect and Behemoth Blade. We never did get to see that 4th attack, but I'm assuming it was either Sacred Sword or Play Rough. So anyways, my opponent went for a coaching into their Zacian. So with Zacian getting a +1 from Intrepid Sword naturally, and then coaching, they were at +2 in attack, and they were at +1 defense. And honestly, that could have gotten really, really nasty, but thankfully we just kind of ironically ignored the Zacian and just started taking out Zacian's partners with Koraidon. Like, we hit the Iron Valiant with a Flare Blitz when the Flame Charge didn't pick it up, and then we also got a Terra Ghost Chiyu to come in, which they thought I was going for Collision Course, but no, we got that Flare Blitz off instead and just knocked out the Goldfish, which just left Landorus Incarnate and Zacian left. And I had Charizard in the back, so once Indeedee actually went down, Charizard came in and was able to start threatening Heat Waves, which, honestly, we were going to have a fun time with Heat Wave and Koraidon at that point. So, my opponent did end up forfeiting the match there, but yeah, I think that was more than impressive enough on Koraidon's end there. Anyways, be sure to let me know what you guys think of the team down in the comments below. Show Koraidon and Iron Valiant some love, and definitely show Ursaluna some love, because I am very, very pleased with how that turned out. Also, I also got a Guts Boosted Blood Moon at one point, and you know what? I'm not sorry. It was an accident all the time, but you know what? Yeah, I nicknamed this Ursaluna Mauling Moon for a reason, and yeah, Ursaluna definitely did that in that game. But anyways, before anything gets too dark, we're going to sign off right there. See you later.